Hello again, metal.de Shatsies, or here with the lovely Rob, the finger blaster of Epica. First day of tour co-headlining with Amaranth and also supported by Charlotte Vessels and The Obsession. How are you doing?
How am I doing? I'm totally psyched. Just arrived here in Cologne and...
After a long journey.
Yeah, well, long, that's quite relative, but it's more like kind of hectic because of the delay.
Long.
Yeah, exactly. And it also took a while actually to eventually do this tour, but I've been looking forward to it and yeah, it's going to be a blast.
Well, I'm so excited because first of all, the three bands are amazing, but also I get to see the sounds of Spiral on stage. Was released last year in April. So we can finally enjoy all of that with videos and hopefully maybe even pyro. So I'm really looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about the album that was released last year, probably produced a while before that. What's the biggest, most positive memory from getting into the studio, from taking it on the road, talking to press, obviously, but meeting and sharing it with fans? What's the most positive Spiral moment so far?
Several ones. But what I really liked about this album is like how organic everything came together, and this is actually the first like full album that we really actually wrote together. We always write together, but normally kind of separately. Like people prepare their stuff at home in their home studios, and eventually we come together in the studio. Fine, that works great. But this time we almost from scratch we did the whole record, like the writing process together in writing camps. Like really in this farm in the middle of nowhere, which was great. Also no distraction. Next time we should even switch off the Wi-Fi if it's up to me. But no, I really liked that. It was like really isolated. We had these sessions from like a whole week. We did like 3 or 4 sessions. 4 sessions, just the band, no producer, just the 6 of us. And that was great. It was like really a group effort. And that's like, it really felt like making music and how it should be.
Well, I really enjoyed the end product, and as I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing it on stage as well. But something that I love with the band over the years, that you touch on some philosophical topics about social change around us, either the call for or what you see happening around you. Some of the themes that I've already noticed that are celebrated in the album is renewal, rebirth, self-awareness, and higher connection and awareness of yourself and the world. Do you already see that around you? As we said, the album was released about a year ago. Mm-hmm. So do you see that change either in fans or in the world?
Yeah, we can definitely say that we're in a very interesting period at the moment, and that goes like, that's a global thing, of course. From a personal point of view, this album really stands for kind of like rounding up the first cycle of albums. We kind of always seen like the whole design universe till Omega as kind of like one cycle, and now it's time for a new cycle. It also refers to us as people. We've been through a lot, also on a personal level, also in the band itself. If it comes to the whole creative process, we also been growing as musicians, and it's like, it really felt like, okay, the circle is round. Now we're coming up to this really new cycle of the band. And it's always also because of like the Spiral. I mean, the title, it's based on the artwork by Mr. Stanislav Sukalski, and it's also like it's based on renewal. It's like the Spiral itself. It starts from zero and it builds up and it builds up, and it works to this beautiful climax. Yeah, so everything comes together. It made perfect sense. Also with the number 9, it's the 9th album. So.
Well, I'm now scared a bit of thinking about the climax because it's not always a positive one. And as the world is bubbling around us, and touching on one of the songs from the album, Fight to Survive, the overview effect from space, kind of taking a step back, looking at the world from the outside. And I think the song was talking about the urge to connect and feel more responsible to whatever's happening around us in the world. Do you see that as well? Again, looking at the world, looking at our leaders, looking at people around us, nations, pointing fingers, more us versus them. Yeah. Are you as negative as I am or more positive, as you said, about the climax? Are we going to join hands and sing Kumbaya at the end of the year?
I'm not necessarily by the end of the year. That's not something that would be very positive, of course. It would be great. I would love that if something like that happens. But yeah, we're living in a very weird time, and it's also very scary how things change in such a short time, and it seems like everything is all of a sudden like, accelerating all of a sudden. But in the end, if I may speak for myself, I'm still hopeful. In the end, people can still connect. It's like it's those assholes on top of there who decide everything, even though it doesn't make sense when you think about it. Why just a few people can decide everything for a whole world population? It's a total load of shit, if you ask me. And in the end, I mean, you can already see the stuff. I'm not approving what all is happening, but certain people already kind of like, I mean, look what is going on in Iran. Of course, I'm not there, so don't know what exactly is happening. But at least people are saying something like other people to go fuck off, and hopefully that turns out in a positive way, of course.
Do you feel like musicians, artists in general, either need to say more or can bring that change? Is there a responsibility on artists, either with that platform or with the fact that they talk about change in their lyrics? Do they need to make it stronger, more clear for people to be motivated or to be clear about what they need to focus their energy at?
Yes, to a certain extent, yes. The only thing that I always like to be careful with is like to polarize people. Like, I don't want to say like, oh, this is my opinion, so, and then shove it down your throat. Like, my opinion should also be your opinion. One, if I might speak for myself or actually the band in general, I think artists should actually have the responsibility to create something that makes people think and think for themselves. That's the main thing. And you can have your own opinion. It doesn't matter like which side you choose, but think for yourself. That's the main thing. Because there are so many people who are programmed in this world. I mean, in general, we are also from a biological point of view, we are programmed. So we can have really long discussions about this. But in general, too many people are, you know, pushed in a certain direction, even though they don't even notice it by themselves. So
something completely different that the band touched on is connecting to your inner child. You had a song recently and a video that was shot in the Efteling. And I really enjoyed that, The Ghost in Me.
Yeah.
And I've recently heard a phrase that says that you don't stop playing because you get older, but you get older because you stop playing.
Yeah.
So how do you interact with your inner child? How do you keep young inside?
Oh, I've always been, I don't want to say necessarily a big baby or something like, but I think that's, yeah, but I agree on that point. It's, I think it's very important. It's funny, I know a lot of musicians or creative people who are already like in their late 70s and such, but when I talk to them, it feels like I'm talking to somebody of my own age. And even sometimes when I think about like, I mean, of course, it sounds very cliche to say like age is just a number. And to a certain extent it isn't, and to a certain extent it is actually, because to be honest, if you ask me like, oh, what's your age, or what's your inner age, I still feel like I'm in my early 20s, even though physically I'm not. And I also realize that, but at the same time, you know, in that sense, I'm also still like a big child, and I love that. Like, I remember back in the days when I was starting to grow up, the people at school, they trying to kind of like, yeah, there we go again. They start to push you in a certain direction, like you should like this or that, you should go to play soccer and all that stuff. I was always like into the collecting, you know, toys of monsters and stuff like that, and the comics and all that shit. I still do that. And that's also keeps me young. Also, like watching movies, reading books. It's also the people that you also connect with. I know a lot of people that are actually younger than me, but they feel much older than I am. So I'm kind of like, no.
But as a fan, when you go to a show and the band on stage tells everyone to get down, do you think about the morning after? Is it difficult to get back up? Are you holding your back and complaining, or joining the mosh pit?
I'll be very honest. Like I don't go to shows that much anymore, but that's more because it's also my job. It's the same thing like asking somebody who, like a chef cook at a restaurant, to go like, hey, let's go out for dinner. And he's like, no, thank you. You'll probably like that. That's the thing. It's not that I don't enjoy music anymore. I mean, I love music, but I rather stay at home, get like my new vinyl that I just ordered or bought at the store, and then put that up like on the volume that I prefer when I want to do that. I mean, I can still enjoy shows, but in general, it's like it's the same thing. Like you're basically looking at your own work, and you already can get annoyed. Like, I would do different lights, and I would put the sound like this, and like, yeah.
I'm sorry, but that sounds a little bit old.
Yeah, I know. If it comes to music, I totally agree on that. That's like, I mean, in the end, it's also like it's my work. But there are also certain festivals where I like to go to, like let's say Roadburn Festival in Holland, which is a completely different genre than what we do with Epica. It's like very obscure stuff, and that's still when I kind of feel like, yeah, that's. Then I always like to discover new stuff, and that's what I really like, and that is pretty close to what you're mentioning now. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try and discover new stuff from you, because as we said, we're on the first day of the tour, the co-headliner tour with Amaranth, also supported by Charlotte Vessels and The Obsession.
Yeah.
I was hoping, the second I saw the poster of the tour, I was hoping that somebody's going to mention something about a collaboration. I know that Simone was already on a track with Charlotte, and I know that Elise was also on a track with you guys in the past on stage. Can we talk about collaboration, either something that will happen on stage, planned, hoped, talked, or maybe something that will leak into the studio? Because I'm also hoping that as we're getting closer to the 1 year celebration of A Spiral, there was a single.
Somebody's expecting stuff over here. Yeah?
I'm all about expectations and disappointments.
Ooh,
I have
no
a
pressure.
lot of abandonment issues.
Yeah.
So can we talk about something? Just the two of us here? Avoid all those red flickering lights around us, just two friends talking. Can we expect some collaborations? Either one of you guys jumping on a set with the others or one of the others jumping on your set?
Oh yeah, that could definitely happen. I mean, we're here anyway, right? So first we have to kick off the tour to see how things turn out, because for us it's also been a while since we've been on the road. So we have to kind of like. I don't want to say that we're rusty, not at all, because we just had like a whole week of production rehearsals and stuff like that, so I'm not worried about that. No, but I definitely see that happening, and also with the collaborations, that's funny that you're saying that. I mean, we did the Alchemy project in the past, and apart from all the other collaborations that's like Simone did with Charlotte and also with Elisa and such, but I see something like that definitely happening, because that was such a fun process to do. Also working with other musicians, it's also very triggering, it's motivating, it's inspiring, because everybody has their own approach of songwriting, but also creative input, you name it. Yeah.
And if we're talking about the future, there is a new single out there, Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about a deluxe version coming out in April or anything like that? Or are you looking at number 10 already?
Well, first we need to like round up this cycle, but what I can tell you, we're already like next year is going to be our 25th anniversary, and I'm not going to spoil too much about that, but it's going to be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you're thinking about the future, when you're thinking about writing again, as you said, Spiral is the 9th, which on one hand is a number that the band really likes. On the other hand, the number 10 has another connotation for fans as well. Mm-hmm. Does it put pressure? Does it put more release, that imposter syndrome as well? Is it coming into play when you think, oh, it's going to be our 10th release?
Not really. It just happens. It goes very naturally. We had the same with. I remember like when I joined the band, first album was Quantum Enigma, and there was already like a pressure, like, oh shit, we're going to work with a new producer, a new studio, a new lineup, and that's already exciting. But then it's like, out of that came a pretty solid album, we can say. So we had to create another album. Oh my God, how are we going to top that? Which eventually, I mean, our reference also principles also a pretty solid album. And then we were like, oh the hell, how the hell are we going to top this? So eventually, what you should do is, or what we're actually going to do, we're just going to let it happen. It has to feel natural. We're not going to force stuff. We also spoke with our manager, because he says like, oh, we're now like 3 years further. We need a new album. I said, we're going to need a new album when it feels right. We're not going to force anything, like just write a bunch of songs, like, put 10 songs on a record and then here, guys, good luck with that. That's not how it should work. It's not like you might as well work in a factory.
So before I deflect to the next question, but can we expect a deluxe version? Is that something that was mentioned? Can we blink twice for yes?
Wasn't this version deluxe enough already?
Well, I don't know. I feel like between wanting more but also expecting it, because that's how the industry works right now.
Yeah.
And as we said, there is a new single that was not on the album, getting closer to the 1 year anniversary. But also you said the 25th anniversary of the band, and also the 10th album that everybody wants more. So deluxe, is it in the cards or completely out of it?
For now, I don't see that happening necessarily with a Spiral, but you never know. I mean, sometimes we also did stuff spontaneously, also like recording stuff on tour. You never know. Now I'll be very honest, no, there's not a deluxe version right now planned or anything. But like I also said, next year's 25th anniversary, and I think some cool deluxe stuff will be released by then as well.
I'm really excited for that. But something that is maybe completely different, but maybe very relevant, the Eurovision, that more and more metal bands jump in to either enjoy that, learn from that, or increase their exposure. Is it something that the band talked about in the past, or maybe think about the future? The Eurovision song competition?
Oh, no. No, not really. No.
Never, because some big bands, Lord of the Lost from Germany, did it just 2 years ago. And so many bands are either trying to get to the European version of it, kind of skip the preliminary round, or actually going all the way through. So nothing, not even as a fan?
As a fan, to be honest, I'm not a fan of it at all. I'll be very honest. No, no, I know. I mean, I totally respect it. And if bands want to do that's all fine. I mean, that's great. If because some bands actually, they make the kind of music that fits for it. I mean, if we ever come up with a song and it does fit, You can always try, but then again, we never. I'll be very honest. We never had the ambition to really become like. I don't want to say be like disrespectful to be like a pop band or anything. We never had the ambition.
Lordi won, and Lordi are not very poppy.
No, not at all. I was surprised back then that they actually won, and that's cool for them, of course. That's
so
absolutely
pushing the boundaries of the scene, of the Eurovision scene, but also the metal scene.
Yeah, in a way. But then again, I mean, we just do what we got to do, and we never had the ambition really to become to like write or create hits or something like that. That's. If it happens, then it happens, but it has to be spontaneous and not like, I know that a lot of bands really try to get that one hit, to get there. I've been in that same situation with other bands in the past as well, where you really felt that pressure also from the record label, but that pressure isn't there. And we shouldn't create that pressure. It should like exist in a natural way, in an organic way. And if we have a hit, fine, that's great. If we don't, also fine.
I'm going to try and use that pressure for something else. Something that I think needs more pressure is to make the scene around us a bit more welcoming, a bit more safe for people of different genders, different sexualities, different stories from all over the world to either pick up an instrument and be the next generation of musicians or to join us in the mosh pit. I know that your band has been so many times described as female fronted, even though many people not refer to it as a genre, but some still do. So from your experience as a touring musician, as a fan, what can we do, especially men, including the media, to make more people of all ways of life to feel more comfortable and definitely more safe to join the metal party?
But yeah, that's it. People just need to do what they got to do. It starts with the musicians themselves. Like if you have the urge, if you have the need to do this, just do it, and never let yourself be like turned down by the audience, because everybody has an opinion. But most of those like big mouth heroes are sitting there behind their laptop. You shouldn't give a shit. I mean, recently you also saw like what's her name again? She's like this like a black girl from the United States. Diamond is her name. She plays like new metal and stuff like that. She's great, but I constantly see her stuff posting like people are complaining like, oh, you're black and you're fat and you're a chick, and I'm like, why the hell are people complaining about that? She plays awesome. She comes with great music. Just do it. Like that's not a reason to not do it. Let's put it this way.
What do you think about referring to bands, especially awards, as let's say male-fronted or male guitarist award, as they use sometimes for female guitarists? I mean, Diamond was, I think, the first woman on a magazine that got the best guitarist award, but the best female guitarist, and nobody says best male guitarist.
Yeah, but that's a problem, that we're still like in that sense living in that old traditional kind of still in a it seemed like for a while I had the idea that people were starting to get more open-minded, but like recently with everybody gets insulted like in no time, everything's getting more narrow-minded somehow. I don't know why that is, but it's people should simply just let go of that. Like I never understood that whole thing like between male and female. I mean, you see it in sports as well, and that's more from a physical point of view, but you also have a lot of discussion going there as well. What should we do there? Make it gender neutral as well? Perhaps. I don't know. I mean, I'm not judging about that, not at all. And in music, especially not. To be honest, actually, I think it's actually very, very fun to work with a girl as a singer in a band, because, I mean, it also makes the group way more, how should I put this?
Smells better?
That's for sure. That's for sure, yeah, because the other guys are pretty smelly. No, but in this sense, I think it's actually pretty refreshing. I never had a problem to work with a girl. I never saw that as like as a problem, or that it kind of like diminishes the quality or anything. That I never understood that. I actually think it's pretty badass. Like perfect for example was also like back in the day, Ball Throw with a female bass player on the stage, and she fucking rocked on stage. Same if you look like a band like Triptychon, for instance. Awesome.
Well, hopefully from your words to the world, it will be more accepting, more welcoming, more safe, more diverse, to celebrate just creativity and skills and not care about other stuff, or at least celebrate the differences around us. Yeah. So I really appreciate that. I've really enjoyed the Spiral. Cannot wait to see you guys on stage, and looking forward to more surprises. As we said, the 25th anniversary of the band next year. Is there anything else you want to say to fans out there before we say goodbye?
Well, first of all, I hope that you guys are actually going to check us out here on this tour. Thank you so much for your incredible support, and we're looking forward to see you this tour, but also hopefully next year with the 25th anniversary. Stuff is going to be absolutely awesome, and see you guys on the road.
Rob of Epica on the road right now. Thank you much. It's been a pleasure. Cannot wait to see you celebrate a spiral on stage. Thank you much.
Thank you.